after the match.
Okay, you were in a coffee shop after the match. Now tell them this story that definitely happened.
It definitely wasn't a coffee shop. You need to stop.
Right.
You know, let me tell the story. As Camille is locked in for most likely Kai or Rush, Sengoku, in the aftermath of their Team Queso series.
In a coffee shop.
Yeah, sure, we'll say in a coffee shop. Everyone is just giving side relief, so it's like, oh. Obviously, it was in their native tongue, and I couldn't understand it, but the tone of expression was, damn, thank God we got through that. And the one phrase I do know, daijoubu, is what Hawk was assuring all the other players, like, hey, we got through it. It's okay. Let's look forward to the next one. And so I think it's very important for their emotional balance that Hawk is the man, the captain of this team, making sure that everyone's in check going up against a very powerful opponent in RRQ.
Man, it's crazy that you just bumped into them in a coffee shop after the match. And definitely not in the restaurant. Sengoku over here, draft Camille, followed by Jace, followed by the Corky. It's pretty standard, and that indicates when you draft both Camille, Jace, and Corky, you're looking to go. The one thing I would flag is that Corky is a teamfight champion. Neither of the other two are especially teamfight focused, so that indicates that Corky is very likely instead going to be used in the side lanes. We've got split push side lanes all over the board. Mix them up, keep them guessing.
TJ, I'm getting very excited right now because this Recon has been locked in. And yes, more than likely, it is going to be Exosin's Recon. However, there is the slight possibility,
the tiniest of chances,
that Helios could be playing the Recon in the mid lane.
In the mid lane.
Full damage.
Full AP.
Full swing, baby.
That's crazy, Mark. Woo! What that means, of course, we have seen it once already this tournament, is that RRQ would be building around that hard engage. Works very well alongside the Riven as well. So I would go further and say it's even likely, because you can go Riven, full AP Recon, and just go ham.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang.
Oh!
Bang, bang, bang. Ah!
I'm dead. Marky, stop. Please have mercy on me.
Bans here in the second phase are going to be Olaf and Galio for RRQ. They ban away a ton of the supports here, acknowledging perhaps Rush's power, as you see Karma and Galio and Yumi all banned away. All those characters, very good enablers for Rush.
What's another good enabler that you would consider?
I mean, at this point, you've gotten all the S tier ones off the board. You could say, okay, you should be drafting like Nami and enabling it by giving him healing and giving the tidal wave to start fights.
Sure.
I frankly, at this point, you just give him attack. You just go like Alistair or something and have that extra addition to the fight.
Shoutouts to Char, maybe. Throw a Dr. Mundo in there.
Ooh. I think it's kind of difficult because Oki had a bad series yesterday. Oki versus...
Time to open the can of worms.
Versus Team Queso, kind of struggling with his follow-up engage. So yeah, I would go with something like this set that has solid CC, that's very easy, kind of 1, 2, 3 to pilot. You can go back to the fundamentals. Set very good in these situations where you want to find quick picks on anyone who steps too far forward. Did you just throw a fireball?
Yes.
Can't do that in game.
Now, I had this conversation with Riku anytime Set spawned on the stage here.
The stage.
I think it's Haymaker. Even though like it clearly looks like a fireball, but it's supposed to be the Haymaker particle effect. That's the closest
We're in the middle. Cameraman needs to move, dude.
Boom.
Cameraman's getting hit by all the true damage.
Lucian is lost pick here for RRQ. Looks like Helios will be piloting the marksman in the mid lane. So unfortunately, no AP Recon mid.
We will take L's sometimes.
I always take L's, TJ.
Oh no. Exosin will the Recon instead. Lightweight draft
no, it's
for
okay.
RRQ.
TJ, I didn't clarify what the L's were.
Okay, what's the L?
Love.
Oh. RRQ. Not giving you the love you want though, with Exosin piloting the Recon instead as a support, which will mean that for a single pick. And most of all, Sengoku need to enable their mid-jungle duo. Hawk on the Jace will do a tremendous amount of damage if he gets an early lead. Expect Rush to gank him around the 5 to 10 minute mark in that window and try and pick off Helios. That's a win-win, Mark. If he can shut down Helios and boost Hawk at the same time, Sengoku have their tools for success.
Literally the 1-2 punch as you described. For Sengoku here, one of the things that I'm going to be looking at as well is if Uki can show a better demonstration on the set. As I know, it's something that you already flagged during the draft phase.
Uki's Galio sucked.
Oh,
he kept ulting in to Hawk's Zed after Zed had already left. So the Zed would go in, engage, do a whole lot of damage, or not very much damage because sometimes he was going in on the Darius. Wasn't a great game 2 for Sengoku in that series. And then Oki would ult in and like just be in the middle of the fight after it was over and die. It was really rough. I don't know what's going on with that. Of course, Sengoku did lose their support player at the end of the last season. Dejua, one of the most experienced players in the world, retired after what he felt was a disappointing performance at the Horizon Cup. Though they did do pretty well. So they have a new player, and I think you can definitely see that Oki is one of the least experienced members of this team at times. Hopefully he's gotten over the nerves now. I believe this is his first ever stage event because the Japan Cup finals were not online.
Yeah,
so
all online. Already aggressive trading. The 2v2 jungle mid duo that we have been hyping up for this series for so long, already getting a taste of it. So they both exchange blows.
A teaser. A little sprinkle you can put on top of your dish.
A glimpse.
Uh-huh.
A vision.
Here's Chaz, though.
Oh, and he wants to punish on the rush, forcing him to flash away. That monkey is sent out of the jungle.
I think Chaz could have hung around. He doesn't take the risk. Sengoku able to hold on to their jungle. Chaz able to find an early lead, invading Sengoku's jungle, forcing a defensive flash out of Rush, and canceling any ambition they would have had of taking over the early game.
Chaz just contesting with Hawk in the Vision Ward game.
Get out of there, dude!
Chaz is fine.
He's just poking you over the wall. Chaz eventually leaves. It's okay, he took all that damage because he was planning on recalling anyway. Don't worry about it. So he'll be back in base buying his upgraded items, having completed his clear.
You know what we call that as well? Jungle privilege.
Right.
Now, a lot of the times, this is a truly underrated thing that junglers can do for their lane opponents. If they plan on recalling anyway, go to lane and just brawl with the laner there, because the laner wants to stay for a while.
Scuff him up a little bit.
Yeah. Get some health leads.
Make him dirty.
Yeah. Take health off of them, and then set your laner up for success, because they're coming fresh from a recall, and that laner wants to stay because he didn't get a chance to push out the wave.
Put some mud on his jacket.
Yeah.
And the second you do that, like Hawk burned a whole lot of mana, actually, taking that fight. He needs to reset, come back to lane.
And now look at this. Helios has the opportunity to shove in this wave. There's an opportunity for him to rotate towards the bottom side of the map if he can work with Chaz. Doesn't look like they're going to take that opportunity, so...
Such a good point, Mark. I'm so happy you flagged it. As it does mean that Chaz, on the full reset, earned a slight advantage for Helios. And RRQ are running the map. As we expect them to be fair. And to be equally fair, they're currently slightly behind in gold. Much of that differential coming from the jungle, where Rush has been farming very well, clearing a little bit faster than Chaz, who's been distracted showing up in lanes. But RRQ are running them out. They have early game priority as they want to. They got both Scuttle Crabs, and they have complete vision on the map. Making it very difficult to execute plays like that, like Rush was just looking for.
And you have to remember that, as we talked about for RRQ, later the game goes, you have the Ziggs that's going to be even more powerful the later the game goes. This Riven's going to be an adept team fighter and a huge carry for RRQ. Devil J, even though his laning bully prowess doesn't live up as well against the Camille later the game goes on, he will still be a powerful frontline for RRQ.
Yeah. Devil J is really good at using every little bit of that Renekton HP progressively in fights. So I expect that to be a factor. Watch for those Dominus stasises we've seen from various Renektonins.
Yes.
It's the funniest thing to me. The Renekton full engages, everyone freaks out, jumps
Middle
away.
slice.
And he's just like, put a pause.
Shing.
Your Renekton will be back in 30 seconds.
Dude, if stasis lasted that long, that would be broken.
It feels like 30 seconds in a fight. Here we go. First objectives of the game.
Exosin is a little early in there, trying to all up, gets a knock up onto 2. Here comes Chaz, but the Hextech ultimatum locks him down from Kai. And his beautiful clutch smite from Rush, securing the Rift Herald, and the Cyclone guarantees their safety exit out, or I should say, Devil J still wants more. Ignite ticket down, he picks up first blood.
Good chase from Devil J, not letting Sengoku get away with it, and they end the fight 1 kill up. Rift Herald over to Sengoku. Mark, they don't feel confident enough to burn this dragon.
Oh.
RRQ go back to base.
Ooh.
They touch some grass, head back over to the dragon.
You know, that is very important for gamers these days.
Gotta make sure. I mean, Sengoku will have a slight advantage kind of off of that because they have the Rift Herald as they go into this fight. So they'll be able to drop that Rift Herald, distract RRQ as we start looking at this dragon.
Uki getting the face of Exison, throws him against his bicep.
Meh. That's what he says. That's what Seth says.
Exison has far more important priorities, looking to lock down Hawk, and Hawk backs up in respect. And RRQ start up the dragon.
There we go. Sengoku shouldn't let them get away with this. If they can poke, if they can prod here. Hawk.
No package available for Sengoku this time
they
around.
turned, man.
Nice flash from Hawk, but gets out, and it's his summoner spell that is cost. But the Rift Herald being spawned in mid lane.
It'll charge. Huge amount of turret plating over to Sengoku. They're going to grab that mid turret, the first break of the game, and think that's a pretty good deal. RRQ get the dragon, Sengoku get first turret.
Sengoku just banking on the surplus of gold they are getting in the mid game, because that is where a lot of these champions really do come online. They haven't really leveraged Hawk's lane priority as the Jace, but now that he has the Hullbreaker, now that your main bruisers have Divine Sunder online, this is where they can side lane, this is where they can do some damage.
I will say, they don't have a gold lead on the map, and in those specific lanes here, like you're talking about the Jace Hawk, behind Helios right now, they need kills.
Oh, well, what if it's RRQ that are picking up the kills? Rush to Cyclone, knocks up a couple, finds a response back thanks to the help of Uki as well. Chaz goes down.
Oki, good stole out of the fight, but doesn't chase Helios instead. Slows down the dive, takes out Chaz, which means they don't deal with Helios, who's kind of running away with things. Do take a block off of Chaz, which will mean some time to run the map, run the jungle for Sengoku. They don't have the tools to take advantage of it, though. The only thing Rush takes during this time is his own crop.
Take a look back at that replay.
Oh, I will. Watch this. He's stunned up. He's dead. Here's what I was talking about by Oki. Protobelt's in and focuses on the front line. I frankly think he could have turned and targeted Helios instead. But it didn't matter. They still got a kill. This is a roller coaster.
Oh, look at that.
Exciting. I can hear Dagger, the Japanese caster.
Oh, really?
Play-by-play. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, no, dude, I love his energy, man. Him and Cube are really great. Oh, but it is RRQ forcing the fight under the tower, 3v2. They have Devil J tanking up the turret aggro. Exison having to get out. Devil J, now the one tanking it. Kai managing to get out. He is out of there. But RRQ have all the pressure to be able to defuse the turret take and the dive from the side of Sengoku.
They lose a champion on the opposite side. Rush too far forward, split from the map, all their minions dead. RRQ find a free kill.
That is so impressive from RRQ. To pull off their tower dive, they don't lose anyone on their front. And on the flip side, when Sengoku make an aggressive similar move, it's RRQ that defused it completely.
It did get gold onto some of their key carries. Juan doing all right in the bank account. That'll mean this Corki has damage. We have a team fight coming up. Rift Herald on the board. Sengoku need a positive scrap. Oki looking for a pull.
Juan has package available. Watch how well he and Oki can combo it well together. Kai doesn't have Hexacle momentum quite yet, and it looks like the timer has ran out.
They walk away. Sengoku take the map trade again. Hawk taking down the turret on the bottom side, using his Hullbreaker. What we predicted from the composition coming true. Sengoku got to build as many Hullbreakers as they can. Poke at all those side lane turrets.
This is what Sengoku want, trying to open up the map. Give them the ability to start collapsing in through the side lanes and taking jungle resources eventually.
So I was waiting for it, and I didn't get a chance to mention it at the top of the show, but the other reason I was wearing sunglasses for Sengoku is because Dagger, the Japanese caster for Sengoku, always wears sunglasses on broadcast.
Oh, true.
So there's a little bit of tribute to him. Rift Herald summoned here as it was just picked up. Here comes Sengoku.
Oh, with the satchel charge, is it going to be enough here? Doesn't time out. Oh! I thought it was always 1850, but that's good stuff from RRQ.
Slightly more there. Sengoku do lose their turret in the middle of the map, which is not ideal. I think they could have stopped that Rift Herald, frankly, but little out of position. And you have to critique that because you know that that Rift Herald is coming. That's RRQ just took it. So I would have liked to see Sengoku not distracted in the bottom side of the map like they were. Does mean the gold lead skewing over towards RRQ, who are now a couple thousand gold ahead. They have the Drake in their pocket as well. And it's all good signs for them. They're looking for that wombo combo engage. I would flag the bottom side of their map. Marky is going to get stronger as this goes on, but Helios and Exosin get less powerful. So Sengoku may feel they have a better chance as this goes on if they can keep the gold even.
Almost starting the assault onto Devil J, but tactical sweep, not quite in position. Devil J still a little scary.
Because Ziggs is really big, but there's a lot of tools on Sengoku that are going to get increasingly good at targeting the Ziggs in the backlines of these fights. You can see Kai poking out Rush on the Wukong as well. So I can very much see the logic of Sengoku slowing down the game. This is, of course, how they play in the WJC. The tournament series over there in Japan, very slow games. Here we go.
Controlling this choke point right now. No package available from Juan, so that doesn't mean that RRQ are as terrified of entering in, and they are going all the way. They've already taken out Oki. That's one Final Lander down. Devil J flashing right on the Kai, and that's another bruiser down. Look at Chaz, undeterred, finds the mark onto Juan, and now it's only Hawk. It's only Rush, but Hawk is gone, man.
A clean team fight for RRQ. Everything goes their way, 4 kills, and Sengoku lose all the gold they were building up. A 4K swing for RRQ.
That's the second dragon of the game as well. Rush, trying to find something back, is trading a turret on the Baron side of the map, but Marky says, oh, it's a tier 2 mid-tier free for me. Helios is getting another one as well, and the gold lead has exploded.
Boom!
That's a big boom right there. Take a look back at this replay.
Equally big boom. Juan on the front lines here is doing a lot. And check this out. He's the easy target. Exosin dances through the fight, forces him back all the way separated from the fight. And that means that everything's split up. It's easy for Devil J and the rest of the front line for RRQ to just decimate things.
Dude, Exosin's grand entrance interrupted Hawks to the sky. I didn't even see that the first time around. Oh, dude, Exosin's so sick, man.
Exosin is really sick. I'm so glad we could share this, Mark.
And Chaz, 4.3K, looking to do it again. Look at the collapse on the left side. Chaz looking to make the left side flank. Juan is in a world of trouble, completely surrounded. Rush comes in, but it's too late. Cyclone is not going to get his dragon laying around, and it doesn't look like it's getting himself out. Devil J slicing and dicing through the Japanese representative.
And Sengoku down another major team fight. Just Hawk and Kai to defend. Game number 1. Here come RRQ.
It's all foot to the pedal. RRQ able to take out the middle inhibitor. Looks like they're going to pause and pull on the brakes.
This is weirdly restrained for RRQ, but the right call. They'll turn around and get the Baron and seal the steal. Not any more shenanigans. Here's Juan getting caught out. Nobody in front of him, nobody nearby to play defense. You can see Oki taking the long route around here. Just completely disconnected. Bad positioning heading into the team fight from Sengoku. And they're shut down.
At this point, it is now an 11,000 gold lead. 4.2 thousand damage just from Devil J in that last fight. Can imagine that it is only one fight away before RQ close out this game.
You know what's real bad? Oki did 2.1K in that fight. That's the second most in the fight for Sengoku. A sign, yes, that Oki's playing set, but also, and more importantly, that the rest of Sengoku, particularly their damage dealers, aren't getting to deal damage.
I mean, Juan, not in the best place.
No.
Immediately singled out by Exosin.
He needs a better front line.
Okay, well, this is Sengoku taking the fight to RRQ this time around. Kai has split it up with X-Tech Ultimatum. Package clips off RRQ.
They're all dead.
But the damage isn't in supply for Sengoku, and the answer is no. RRQ say we are canceling Sengoku's chances at the knockout stage.
And it's a prime
gaming ace
for RRQ as they march in on the Nexus for game number 1.
RRQ living up to the WCS expectations, cleaning it out in style. Game 1 goes to RRQ.
A dominant performance as well. Sengoku never getting on their 2 feet to play properly throughout that series. They'll have a second swing at it, and I'm going to say it straight up. They need an easier to execute composition.
A little bit rushed. It felt like there were times where they thought, oh, this is our chance to go in, but the problem was they were just always engaging, they were always trying to kill the Riven and Renekton.
Yeah.
There was no way of really getting onto that back line. They were trying to play this front-to-back comp where they try and break through the front line before you get to the Ziggs in the back line. But the problem is that Ziggs is just sitting in the back line doing so much damage, and it's a situation where there's just nothing you can do if you can't take down the Ziggs.
And if you look at RRQ's team composition as well, you are running 4 big carry threats. Devil J was doing top damage in most of these fights. It's not as simple as just saying, we'll go past your Riven, we'll go past your Renekton, because if you try to do that, they will end up killing your entire team as well. Devil J topping the DPS charts here on Renekton. One of his best performances individually for sure.
Yeah, and Oki there, not too far behind the jungler Rush in terms of damage. That's not what it's supposed to look like, boys. Exosin and Chaz, at least that's a comparable look there at support and jungle damage for someone who wasn't doing as much damage as Devil J. But I think a lot of the reason why they couldn't get to the back line as well, not only the threats at the champions that were possessed by Devil J and by Chaz, but Exosin was constantly creating that space on the Rakan. I know the casters were a little disappointed. We didn't see